Alright, so what the freak is that? Faking wokeness to fit in. 88% of students report pretending to hold more progressive views than they really do. I don't know. I think this is pretty self-evident. Like, I'm gonna read the whole post that he links to, but I could honestly believe this at face value. Yeah, I could believe this. I mean, honestly, personally for me, I myself am pretty apolitical. Like, I'll roll around in the mud with culture war topics, but like actual hard politics, I usually avoid. And one of the biggest reasons that I've like said 1,000 times by now is that I don't like being attacked for not repeating the party line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like having a metaphorical gun to my freaking head that says, say the line! Say the party line or else! You know, like, the difference is, like, the mass majority of the time on the right side of politics, and for the record, I'm talking about Twitter, the general public, not actual politicians, just so we're clear, they don't care if I say the line. Like, some may be disgruntled, and there might be a few here and there that get pissed, but it's usually a minority. At least as far as I've noticed, right? Meanwhile, if I refuse to say the left-leaning party line or talking point, I'm aggressively attacked, I'm slandered, I'm labeled a fucking Nazi, and a grifter, and, oh yeah, fascist as well, yeah. And then I get follow policed on fucking Twitter too. And I get my videos mass reported on YouTube. And my Reddit gets brigaded and reported too. Like, it's literally not even a comparison. Like, the level of harassment is completely insane. And I would honestly say that's a bit on the lighter side compared to other people. It's fucking sad. You're finally a bride? I mean, this was happening before. But my point is, to a lot of people, they realize very early that confronting, no, I wouldn't even say that. I would say they realize very early on that not conforming to like a political opinion, or even like having, like refusing to even have an opinion or having no opinion at all on whatever is the most, like the most popular political battlefield topic at the moment, gets them like severe harassment and slander from one side. And so, they fake their values to appease those people. So they can get, like, through whatever it is, like usually college or work or whatever. Like, they don't care about your political message. They just want to get through their fucking classes, get through school, and not get harassed, and then move on with their life. And to do that, they have to lie. Again, I do think this phenomenon actually became more clear to me, personally, after I started streaming. After I started having an audience and more attention was brought to the things I say. And funnily enough, we're gonna make a video, and we're gonna watch a video about it today, too. Make a video, watch a video. 88% seems high, though. There's a lot of people resisting the brainwashing. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm reading the article, too, so we'll see. This is cause for celebration. I thought they all actually held these views. Don't realize that 88%... Don't they realize that with 88% of them like that, they already have more than enough mass to fit in? They don't need the approval of the remaining 12%? But that's how it works. If you don't know what other people are thinking, you're going to think that everybody thinks like everybody else. That's the problem. Now, deep evolutionary coding, we're hardwired to parrot the tribe's views because historically ostracism meant death. Safety in numbers usually beats being right. I mean, yeah, I would argue that's true. I don't know. Should be interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna read the statistics because this is an actual thing apparently. Like the study, there was a study done on this. Most people like to have peace and quiet. 88% seems legit. I don't know. I feel like people just don't want to deal with conflict. Like, people avoid conflict a lot more than you'd think in real life anyway. Twitter's like different, obviously, because there's like anonymity behind it, but yeah. I'm a leftist, but they get their other viewpoints. I think that that's how it should be for everybody, no matter what they are. Like centrist, right-leaning, leftist, it doesn't matter. You should be able to understand that there are differing viewpoints, and you have to live with them. Sorry, it's just what it is.
I don't know about you, but less than 9 inches is not enough for me. I need 9 inches.
What you actually need is 59 inches of SmugAlana body pillow, and you can get it from gamersubs.com using code SMUG for 10% off right now. Faking wokeness to fit in. 88% of students report pretending to hold more progressive views than they really do. Ooh. A new study finds that nearly 9 in 10 students fake more progressive views than they really hold, often to appease professors or to stay in their peers' good graces. The habit doesn't stop at the classroom door, or even close friends and romantic partners are kept in the dark. From lecture halls to late-night conversations, students are learning that conformity pays and candor costs. If universities still see themselves as incubators of independent thought, those numbers should be a wake-up call. Can students truly develop as thinkers when honesty feels unsafe? No, of course they can't. Like, that's the biggest problem. Like, nobody thinks for themselves anymore. Every opinion is some, like, disgusting amalgamation, a fucking homunculus of thoughts being injected to them by Twitter, Reddit, and I guess their peers in the school classroom or whatever. Like, even asking questions or pointing out an inconsistency is like viewed as being a Nazi, because if you truly care about this cause or whatever it is, why would you question it? That's the problem, right? How many clips have circulated on Twitter of like a protester being asked what they're protesting about and they just don't fucking know? How many have even like puddle deep knowledge of the thing they support? Very few, and this is obviously by design. You're not supposed to be educated on the topic. You're not supposed to have all your questions answered. What you're supposed to do is be a good little retard and say the line. And if someone doesn't agree with you, and then you berate and slander and like attempt to ruin their life. It sucks, and that's the essence of it too. And that's why people get so irritated when you say like, I'm not educated enough to have this opinion. It's like, well, you should go get educated. It's like, you know, I only have so much time in the day, and like trying to understand massive geopolitical historical facts and then being able to process them without like some sort of bias or forming an opinion that is my own takes time. It's ridiculous, and then people get mad at you for that. For sure. Because it takes time to be educated. Below is an excerpt from an article in The Hill by the study's authors. You can read the full piece here, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Between 2023 and 2025, we conducted 1,400 confidential interviews with undergraduates of Northwestern University and the University of Michigan. We were not studying politics, we were studying development. Our question was clinical, not political. What happens to identity formation when belief is replaced by adherence to orthodoxy? We asked, have you ever pretended to hold more progressive views than you truly endorse to succeed socially or academically? An astounding 88% said yes. 78% of students told us they self-censor on their beliefs surrounding gender identity, 72% on politics, 68% on family views. More than 80% said they had submitted classwork that misrepresented their views in order to align with professors. To test the gap between expression and belief, we used gender discourse, a contentious topic, both highly visible and ideologically loaded. In public, students echoed expected progressive narratives. In private, however, their views were more complex. And again, I think in my opinion, this has always been the case. Like, students always try to read their professor and guess what they like and dislike so that they can, like, appeal to those things and they get preferential grade treatment or whatever. Like, if they get a higher mark or a higher score. That's always happened. It's human nature. The problem is, like, how much politics has made it into the classroom because of like politically captured teachers and professors. And the problem is like in this concept, this political correctness, it spreads like a fucking weed because the professors that don't conform will have their job threatened. Usually by slander, being called a racist or whatever. So you end up having this like self-filtering effect where the professors that don't agree are either canceled or they they leave the profession or their career completely. The ones that don't care will conform to keep their fucking job. And the ones that have like explicit political beliefs have free reign, you know? It's called the chilling effect. I've never heard of that, but it sucks. The information is most important, closely guarded natural resources. Information is more valuable than gold, and so they make us pay for it with money. This happens even at work, though. You can't even say like, oh, you know, because it's in the classroom. Like this is a very small sample size, but I do think it's a very interesting thing to look at. Self-censorship is the most tragic thing to have happened. Yeah. To test the gap between expression and belief, we use gender discourse, a contentious topic both highly visible and ideologically loaded. In public, students echoed expected progressive narratives. In private, however, their views were more complex. Perhaps most telling, 77% said they disagreed with the idea that gender identity should override biological sex in such domains as sports, healthcare, or public data, but would have never voiced that disagreement out loud. And this fragmentation doesn't end at the classroom door. 73% of students reported mistrust in conversations about these values with close friends. Nearly half said they routinely conceal beliefs in intimate relationships for fear of ideological fallout. This is not sustainable. If higher education is to fulfill its promise as a site of intellectual and moral development, it must relearn the difference between support and supervision. It must recenter the truth, not consensus, as its animating value, and must give back to students what it has taken from them, the right to believe and the space to become. I've said this many times, by these like blindly supportive people of certain progressive things, you end up actually like hurting the movement. They're obviously talking about trans people here. They're not saying it, but that's what they are saying. This falls under the same umbrella as I've talked about with like Pride Month. I've said it numerous times. I don't think Pride Month should be a thing. I think it should go away. And the reason is because it actually hurts gay people more than it helps them. Pride Month has become such a fucking circus for like the most degenerate retards to like air out their fetishes in these parades with kids in attendance. And for these massive corporate conglomerates to sell you their fucking bullshit with a rainbow flag on it, and all of them changing their Twitter profile picture for the month to signal support and then just taking it off as soon as June ends, you know? You might not like it, you might not agree, but that's what most people think, and they expect it every year during June. It gets shoved down their throat of every single person who doesn't care, and it ends up creating resentment, which then in turn, I think creates, it actually hurts gay people. And the same thing can be said about this. 77% of people said that they disagree with the sports, the healthcare, and the public data, referring to trans people, but they never voice that opinion. Chat, and when this becomes common, when most people feel like they can't say what they actually think, it actually creates resentment. And then in turn, it hurts the movement more than it helps. Yeah. again, this is fun. This is kind of sad but funny. It's like when Asmongold says Niara has done more damage to the trans movement than he could ever do. He's right. Niara is a complete and utter fucking brainlet. They're a retard, and everything they say is so devoid from like reality and unpopular that it deals significantly more damage to trans people than Asmon or I or anyone else could ever hope to do in years. It's honestly embarrassing. And my point is it's just another example of like this conform to what I say or else. Luckily, I think I've done a pretty good job of fostering a community of people that are level-headed so I can say these things without getting canceled. And even if you disagree with me, you're not like screaming at me like, oh, you're fucking Nazi. Like, it's that simple. But then if you think about it, I have privilege. These people who are like the average university student, the average person that's trying to get a degree and then move on with their life and, you know, make money with their degree or whatever, that they can't do that. They have to put on the clown makeup and then say the line, or else they lose everything. That's a problem. I mean, if you think that it won't have massive consequences on public opinion in the coming years, you're completely wrong. Yeah, say the line. Say the line or else. A person that doesn't like your ideology can fuck up your future? Yeah, they can get you kicked out and everything. Say the line or else. What now? Well, hopefully you can get your job, buddy. Again, here's another fun fact, chat. You can see the whole pretending to agree with like X opinion or Y opinion in order to not get canceled phenomenon like play out on an even larger scale if you look at social media. You know, like look at X and shit. Let's do like a quick thought experience. Like on Twitter, it emphasizes free speech. It has low levels of moderation. And people consider it a right-wing grifter Nazi website, and countries in Europe are trying to get it banned. But then you think about 4chan, they emphasize free speech. They have really low levels of moderation. It's considered, what is it, like a fucking Nazi fascist website by pretty much everyone. But then here's the flip side. I've talked about this before. The flip side of Reddit, they emphasize extremely heavy moderation. They ban anyone who makes jokes, anyone who has wrong think opinions, and that's considered the quote-unquote front page of the internet, right? With Blue Sky, which was made in response to Twitter, or X, or whatever, they emphasize really, really heavy moderation, and they ban anyone who has wrong think opinions. And by the vast majority of people that use it, it's considered the quote-unquote better alternative to Twitter. Do you like see the pattern? Now, why do you think the kids and the university students feel like they need to fake their opinions? Gee, I fucking wonder why. And the worst part is that these people on Reddit and Blue Sky will try and gaslight you into thinking that isn't the case. They'll justify banning people because they're quote-unquote like Nazis and fascists or whatever. If you ever wonder why the kids are faking their opinions, like, look no further than social media. Blue Sky's particularly disgusting with what there is on that. No one ever talks about it. Yeah, let's not even get into like the accusations of people saying like, yeah, it's a freaking website that's got really bad problems on it, but nobody really addresses that. The Blue Sky was just made to stop Twitter AI harvesting. No, it's not even that. No, it was literally a response to I believe Elon buying Twitter. That's the biggest reason. That whatever else came after that, yeah, that's whatever. I don't know. I'm actually curious, chat. Do they have a link to the study somewhere? I wonder if there's like a demographic for like male and female for the boys and the girls. Like, women are generally, like, biologically speaking, more agreeable than men, right? So they'll tend to say the line a lot more than men will. Like, I wonder if the oh, there it is. You can read the original study here. Oh, look at that, they have it. Yeah, I wonder if the study actually reflects that. Performative progressivism. I can't speak. Performative progressivism. Jesus, dude. And integrity fatigue reported toll of ideological conformity in higher education. Okay, okay. 728, 732. Blah, 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 blah. Uh-huh. Introduction, method participants. Ah, here we go. Okay, this is a proper study. All right. Yeah, look at that. Undergraduates are recruited. Look at that. Site. Oh, site is a location, I guess. So, like, this is University of Michigan and Northwestern University. Ah, there were more girls overall. Interesting. Yeah. There's more girls than boys at university. Ultra Moon and New Undies. Small sample size? No, I understand, but it's still interesting to look at. That's college now, yeah. Generally speaking, there's more girls than boys in, what is it called? In college nowadays. So what I will say is that this is a small sample size and it's only from 2 universities. Like, I think it is an exaggeration to say that 88% of all students everywhere fake more progressive views. However, I would easily say it's a majority. I would easily say that the majority of students are doing that. Again, you can just see it by looking at social media. I think 88% is maybe a bit of a reach, obviously. But I do think that some people just want to avoid confrontation. They just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose their potential college graduation, you know? Have you ever pretended to hold more progressive views than you believe to be accepted socially or academically? Response, 1,200. No, 11.8%. Campus X distribution. Oh. This one's neck and neck, but University of Michigan pulls ahead with 91%. That's crazy. Yeah, female slightly higher in UM. Yeah, 3%. It's not a huge difference, you're right. There is a little bit of a difference. I think they should have done like way more universities. Maybe like on East Coast and West Coast, and then maybe like one in the middle. That would be kind of interesting as well. Have different universities. How many of them feel like that? Yeah, do like a University of California one. I think that would be kind of cool, seeing that distribution for different schools. UM slightly higher, 91% to 88%. Implication, blah, 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 blah. Interesting. Yeah. Submitted assignments misrepresenting your actual views to align with expected ideology. Results, yes, 82.4%. No, 70%. I mean, honestly, this kind of makes sense. Yeah, this does kind of make sense. Like, if I was in college again and I had to fake my views so that I could pass, I would probably do it. I'm sorry. I'm not... And there's money on the line as well? I don't know. I'd want to know what kind of college degrees these people also have, too, as well. Why are they writing about political views? I mean, it depends. We don't even know what degree they're doing. It could be. That's always been the case. It's just more common now because of politics in the classroom. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Interesting. I do find it interesting. Very fascinating. You could, but my whole point, even if you say, oh, Alana, this sample size is too small, you can see it in real life and in online. You can. Twitter, 4chan, Reddit, Blue Sky. It's happening there too. Say the line or else.